Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday. This is Taiwana Coach T. Wilson checking in, hoping your week is off to a great start. We are on the second day of November. This year is going on by. Can you believe it? We only have 2 months left in this year. So, what are those things that you are working on? What is your one goal, task, focus point that you need to accomplish this week? Don't make it too difficult, but what is it, the one thing? And when I say don't make it too difficult, I mean, don't try to, I need to, I don't know, don't try to make it where it's something that's going to be very difficult for you to reach this week. So check in and let me know, what is it, that one thing that you need to work on. Maybe it's being consistent. Maybe it's building relationships. Maybe it's eating better. Maybe it's going to the gym. Maybe it's reading a book. Whatever that one thing is, what are you going to do to accomplish it? Also, we will have our monthly Leaders Roundtable. That will be at the end of November, fourth Tuesday. And that's what today's tidbit is all about. The book that we will be discussing is called The First 90 Days. And I have already started reading it and very excited about this discussion. And it's really not, when I think about it, it's the first 90 days, and they look at it from a career standpoint, whether you are in a new role, whether you just got promoted, whether you just started a new organization. And so I finished the introduction. I'm reading a chapter a day or listening to a chapter a day. And what was interesting so far is that it talks about being in your first 90 days and how that really lays a foundation for what kind of leadership you're going to have in an organization. And I don't just equate it to in your role, but really in your life when you're trying to start something new. That first 90 days is critical. Even when you're in the gym working out, it's all about the first 90 days. What you do, how you show up is an indicator on how the rest of your journey in that particular niche or particular thing will be. When I think about it from a career standpoint, I can think about my most current role, and I followed a leader who had been in the role for 30 years. And basically, when I started, I was being compared to that person's leadership style, what they brought to the organization, their expertise. And so I had to gain that buy in from the team that I even knew what I was talking about. And that first 90 days was critical. I took that first 90 days to get to know the team, get to know about them so that I can get some of those easy wins first. I wasn't trying to come in and make a bunch of changes. Heck, I didn't even know what all needed to be changed. I didn't even know what our climate was, what the culture was. So I needed to go in and understand what was happening. And it can be difficult at first, especially depending on whether you follow a good leader or a bad leader, that people will be looking at you and how you come in and lay your foundation for the team. It's the same as if you were joining a group and you served as an officer, whether you served as a president for that group or you served as a chair for that group. How you come in and set the tone will be how the foundation is laid for your leadership and your success. If you come in and you just want to kind of watch and you don't do anything and the team doesn't see that you have some early wins, some early successes, the buy-in is not going to be there. And it's very difficult to come back when the buy-in is lost. Not impossible, but very difficult. And when I think about those leaders that I have followed, that have been my boss, or organizations that I have been in and the leader changed, those first 90 days have been critical in looking at how are they going to come in and change the organization or move the organization forward. So today is all about your first 90 days. Think about your first 90 days starting today, whether it's your career or whether it's your life. So your first 90 days in your new business, how you show up and how you lay the foundation is going to be an indicator of your success in your business. It's going to be an indicator for your success in reaching your goals. It's going to be an indicator in your success in your relationships. So those first 90 days. So if you think you can be a passerby, you're going to find it very difficult to overcome as the time goes on. When you're trying to eat right, move, and do something different, you will find that you are more successful if you have really laid a strong foundation in those first 90 days. So check it out, our leadership roundtable, our first 90 days. It'll be on November 24th. The book is by Michael D. Watkins. And here's a quote from the book, and I think it's pretty telling. It says, "The actions you take during your first few months in a new role will largely determine whether you succeed or fail." And I believe that to be true, at least from my experience on what I have seen. If you want information on how to register, please send me a text. Text the word roundtable at 513-643-2281. Again, text the word roundtable to 513-643-2281, and I will send you the details on how to get registered. Seats are limited, so definitely want to make sure that you reserve your seat at the table. We want to keep it intimate, so that the leaders and the people that show up are able to really have some great discussion, really able to troubleshoot some ideas, really able to walk away with some tips that they can use. Again, it's really not about the book. It's about the people at the table. It's about the collective experience of those that are at the table. So if you have not been a part of something like this before, make sure you jump in and get started. It's never too late. Let today be your day one on your first 90 days. Also, yesterday I missed that it was National Authors Day. So support an author, especially those who are out here on the grind trying to self-publish and get their books out and want to share their message with the world. So make sure you go out and support. So I have a few authors that I want to highlight. Hopefully you go out and support, buy the book. So all of these authors from the Leadership Tidbits One, very proud of this group. They were the inaugural class of the Leadership Tidbits series. So we're now into book 2. But they offer practical tips that you can use. We had a bunch of educators in this particular edition, so make sure you go out and check them out. If you can get a copy of the book from any of these authors, or you can go on my website, CoachTWilson.com, and that's CoachTeewilson.com to get this particular edition. Also want to highlight the authors of Leadership Tidbits 2. So make sure you check them out. They have copies of the book, so reach out to them to get your copy. Again, it's difficult to try to get a book out there. So, support them. Support them. A lot of people will want to write a book, and it really takes dedication and commitment to see it to fruition. So make sure you go out and support them. That's Leadership Tidbits 2. And for those that went to HBCUs and you want to learn from the experience of others, go out and get the KSU HBCU Experience Anthology, the KSU edition, Kentucky State University, Alumni Stories from the Hill. You can get a copy of this book from any of these authors as well, or you can reach out to me if you want a signed copy. But again, support these authors. They were able to tell their stories, and there's so much history and so much legacy that they were able to leave in this book for the next generation of potential KSU students or just students in general. So I hope you all have a super amazing day. Make sure you drop in the comments what it is that you are working on this week and what are you starting? What is today's day one of your first 90 days of what? Whether it is you need to you're new in your role and you need to take a step back and get restarted. Maybe it's in reaching one of your goals or your dream. Maybe it's in your business. You need to take a step back and restart. Maybe it's in your relationships. You need to take a step back. Maybe it's in your health, because really, we focus on key areas, and that's relationships, our finances, our careers, and our health and wellness. So what areas do you need to focus on and really lay a strong foundation in your first 90 days. Support an author, doesn't have to be the ones that I mentioned, but just support an author, anybody trying to uh, get their message out here via a book is very impactful. So make sure you support them in their dreams and in their endeavors. I hope you all have a super amazing week. It's the start of a month to be thankful. So I'm just thankful that today is Monday and I have an opportunity to talk with you and bring a message one more day. Invite somebody to the Coach T. Wilson group if you haven't already, and make sure that you reserve your seat at the table by texting Roundtable to 513-643-2281. All right, have an awesome day.